بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. It is narrated that Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, at night time, he would travel around Medina Munawwara and just to see what's going on at night time. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu was very, very aware of his responsibility. That's why it's mentioned in Imam Muhammad, that he mentioned that after I became the Khalifa, I became involved in a sickness because of the burden upon me. His health had changed and he got involved in one illness. For him, that's how much he had the understanding that, like, I'm not king. I'm a khadim, I'm a servant of these people. So everybody under me who is residing in Medina Munawwara, residing within the Muslim government, it's my responsibility. So every night he was set off and he would go. And many times he would take his freed slave Aslam with him. So one night they were passing by, and Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu heard the voice of two women, one young woman and one elderly lady. And the elderly lady was trying to wake up the daughter, and telling her that what you need to quickly get up and milk the animals and add some water to the milk. So if you have milk, it's about 1 liter, for example, 1 liter, 2 liters. If you add some water inside, what happens? 2.5 liters, 3 liters. And you wouldn't really tell, if it's only a small amount or you mix it properly, you wouldn't tell that it's not full and it'll still do the job. And if you sell 2 liters, you get a certain price. If you sell 2.5 liters, you get more. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala became aware of this. That this is how people are mixing and deceiving people. So Umar radiallahu ta'ala in a khutbah, he said that this is impermissible. When you mix the water and the milk together, you're deceiving people, not really getting what, if you agree on something and they both know, that's fine. But they'd be deceived. They're not getting pure milk, they're getting milk that is mixed with water. So the young girl said that, Umar radiallahu ta'ala has prohibited this, is not permissible. So Umar was listening outside, he could hear the voice at night time, he was outside. So the young girl said that Umar radiallahu ta'ala prohibited, it's not permissible. So she said, the elderly lady said, it doesn't matter, Umar's sleeping, he doesn't know, let's go do it quickly. So the young girl replied that if Umar is sleeping, then the Lord of Umar is not sleeping. He can hear us. He knows what we are doing. You understand? So that taqwa, that this is a deception, this is wrong, this is incorrect. We shouldn't do this. This is deceiving, this is a sin. And even if Umar radiallahu ta'ala is not watching us, the Lord of Umar is watching us. There's also another story regarding Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. That they were traveling somewhere, and Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala told one of the shepherd, obviously the shepherds live outside, they're outside of the city, they have all the sheep and the goats and the camels. So he said, can you sell us one of these sheep? Because I can't, it's not mine. So then Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala thought, seems to be, let me test him a bit, let's see. So he said, just sell us one, you keep the money, and just tell the owner that it got lost. So he said, فَأَيْنَ اللَّهِ فَأَيْنَ اللَّهِ. If you do this, then what about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Does he not see it? And Umar radiallahu ta'ala, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala was so impressed by this person. When he came to Medina Munawwara, back to Medina Munawwara, he inquired about this person. Who is he? Who's his master? He bought him and he freed him. That this person's got taqwa, he's worthy of being freed. Similarly, in the previous story, that lady, Umar radiallahu ta'ala, then set a proposal that I want my son Asim to get married to her. And from their offspring, Umar ibn Abdul Aziz rahmatullah alayhi was born. So we should have taqwa, we should have fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all circumstances, whether we're alone, we're in public, in our rooms, we're in masjid, everywhere we should have taqwa. Yes, and we have the wara'. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, nothing can match taqwa, meaning your ibadah, meaning your nafil ibadah, your voluntary prayers, they can't match up with taqwa. If you got taqwa, abstaining from wrong and haram, and abstaining from things that are dubious, that's much better than nawafil. When it is once, I think it's Fudayl ibn Iyaz rahmatullahi alayhi, his family, or maybe it's another person. So one of the ladies in that family, they sent a question to Imam Ahmad rahmatullahi alayhi. And the question was that at night time, we stitch clothing or we weave wool or whatever, we do something at night time. Correct? And he goes, sometimes at night time, the Amir of the city, he's walking by. What's he doing? He's walking by with his soldiers or with his men, and they have candles. Fahimd? So he says that when they're walking by, the light from the candles comes into our house, we can see. So we gain assistance from those candles in our work. So the candles are not the public property. It's not meant for us. But he's walking through the streets at night time to see what's going on. And if the candle light, we can't stop it. It comes into our house. We use that and we can get some stuff done. So that extra we make, is that halal for us or not? So when Imam Ahmad rahmatullah heard this question, he said, who asked this question? And they said somebody from the house of Fudayl ibn Ayaz, or maybe another person, I can't remember, was it Fudayl ibn Ayaz? Or is somebody else? So he said, I've been hearing about the taqwa of your family, and when this question came to me, today I realized that this is a proper muttaqi family. That much wara, that much thing, that slight doubt, is just halal for us. So the reason I'm mentioning all of these things is, the reason we're studying, we don't study ilm for the sake of just learning information. This is what? This is ma'mul li ghayrihi. It's hasan li ghayrihi. The knowledge we're studying is not objective in itself. It's objective, but we're doing it with another goal. What's the other goal? To inculcate taqwa in us, to come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to inculcate the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in our lives. So if we're studying knowledge, but then it doesn't lead us to taqwa, then this is something wrong. Then ilm is not going to benefit us. So coming on for the next topic is that we have exams coming up. So on-site, not a problem, because you're all on-site. But online, it can be tempting to cheat. Yes, we'll have things in place, try to have things in place, but I know that there's no point. I mean, there's a point, we're trying to help you, but you can go, whatever system you put in place to avoid cheating, you can go around that. Yes, you can figure out more things than that. And I'm not even so worried about, what I'm worried about is, if you online, you cheat, you try to deceive us, and you have the book hidden behind the camera or behind the thing, and you have the notes, you have extra stuff, you can get away with it. But the problem is that when you do this, you commit a major sin. Yes, you spend 8 weeks, from week 8, the exam will start roughly, week 8, week 9, whatever. So you spend 7.5 weeks doing ibadah. Ibadah means 3 hours a day, 3.5 hours a day, you're spending in front of the kitabs, in front of learning I want to understand this Arabic language so I can understand the Quran. I understand the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yes, you understand the Quran. What does the Quran say? La'natullahi al-kadhibin. Allah is a curse upon those who lie. So you're doing a major sin in trying to acquire the knowledge of the Quran. Doesn't make sense, does it really? That you cheating in your exams so that you can acquire marks to deceive the teachers or deceive somebody, I don't know who you wish to deceive, and then you're committing a sin which then to acquire knowledge, that's not, it doesn't make. So one is the harms of the hereafter. If a person lies in a book, in hadith narration, if a person lies once, there's ikhtilaf now, he lies in kalamun nas. You would say that his riwayah is not mu'tabar. You cannot take his riwayah of hadith ever. That he lies, so we can't trust him ever. I do not trust him, so he's not. So if you're supposed to be a scholar or trying to acquire that ilm of Quran and hadith to make you muttaqi, and you're committing a major sin to get this, then what's the point? Are you following? That's the worldly harm, the harm of the hereafter. And when you do this, you be careful. How can you do sins and get barakah in knowledge? How can you do sins and get barakah in knowledge? Along with this, that's from the hereafter perspective, and the reality perspective is, teachers know when you cheat. Yes, I've been teaching from many of you were even born. I was not teaching, I've been studying from many of you when you were born. That's how old I am now. And the teachers, even those who are not, think after 1-2 years, okay, yeah, we know what his level is. We know what his level is. If he gets 80, you say, well, his level is 60. Well, how come he's getting 80? And if your level is 90 and you get 80, you say, oh, maybe something happened in the exam. What happened? She knows. And along with that, in year 1 and in year 2, you get away with it. In year 3, we have an open book exam. How are you going to cheat then? You say, well, this is the book, open it up and solve this question. So the book's in front of you, how are you going to solve it? Then you get embarrassed then. Yes? So if a person is honest and said, you know what, I couldn't solve it, you rather said he left the question blank and said, I couldn't solve it, I didn't know, I forgot. Or he just did whatever he couldn't, left it. You would gain the respect of the teachers that this person is an honest person. That it's easy. If there's 5 maf'uls, 5 mafa'il, you wrote 4 of them and you're online, that means he has enough taqwa to say, well, I could look in the book easy and put the 5th one in. But he didn't do that. The teacher saying this person is muttaqi. He's got enough wara inside of him. Do you understand? So this is we should have. So one is the wara generally in our own lives, and then when it comes to exams, then don't make this mistake. Especially those online, on site, in front of us or everything. Because we're not doing this ilm for, if you get your Al-Qalam degree or Al-Qalam certificate, we never have a certificate yet properly. Yes? If you do get a certificate, we make one, we show it to you, what are you going to do? You can get a job. In Amazon, as a CEO, you can make money from that. It has no value. It has no, the certificate has no, what's the value? Is that if you learn something and it benefits you, it benefits other people, you have taqwa, you teach taqwa, you teach ilm, you teach amal, then it benefit you. You understand? So don't get involved in this. It's a major sin. It's kadib. It's major sin. Yes, and again, it doesn't affect us, but I'm just saying it because then I don't want you to be harmed spiritually. Yes, and then you in deception, you'd rather say, no, if you fail in year one, I know what, I was weak. You fail year one, repeat year one, and you get better and you solve it. Then passing somehow or the other, and then in year two to realize, you know what, I can't even make it. I can't make heads and tails what's going on. And you embarrass, you just leave. You deprive of knowledge. And when you commit sin, you deprive of knowledge as well. So those of you online, there is nasihan very seriously. Most people don't do it, but you always hear every year you have one or two people. You can tell straight away from the exam papers. So don't do that. Save yourself from this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all tawfiq to act on this. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu